And back with us now. Thanks for your patience, Brendan Buck. And joining us also, USA Today's Washington Bureau Chief Susan Page. So, Brendan, you have a new piece on MSNBC.com this morning, and you write, quote, Harris wiped the floor with Trump at the debate. It might not matter. Why do you say that?
Yeah, as I was getting into earlier, look, the Donald Trump that we saw last night is not all that unfamiliar from the Donald Trump we have seen for nearly a decade now. And yet people have continued to support him. Hillary Clinton had a great debate against Donald Trump, and she still lost. I was on that Romney campaign in 2012 when he wiped the floor with Barack Obama, and it didn't really matter. My only point is it should make a difference. There was a very clear, stark contrast last night, both in style and substance and leadership and seriousness. And again, Kamala Harris is the only person who is demonstrating any level of respect for voters and trying to communicate what she actually thinks and believes and why they should vote for her. But we have seen time and again that we are so divided as a country that something like that may not matter. Kamala Harris has been riding this incredible wave for nearly 2 months now, and we still have basically a tied race. So I'll be very curious to see if this is actually the kind of bump that you should expect that she would have and didn't see after her convention.
No, that's such a good point. Susan, I want to talk about the split screens last night, because we saw that Joe Biden, certainly in his debate with Donald Trump, didn't seem aware that he was on camera, even when he wasn't talking. And in that split screen, he looked really not well in reaction. She clearly had planned her reactions, knowing she was going to be on camera throughout, and knowing that she wouldn't have moments to rebut necessarily and counter his points, given the format, that she could do it visually by laughing or showing, you know, an expression of what the heck is he talking about. Just the preparation that went into that, right?
Yeah, I mean, she was prepared for every aspect of this debate. She came in with a mission, which she then executed. And part of it was her body language. It was coming up to him and basically demanding that he shake her hand. You know, the last time the two candidates shook hands was back in 2016. That showed a certain command of the stage. And then she used her body language, even when her mic was turned off, to express her view of what Donald Trump was saying. Sometimes she looked contemptuous. Sometimes she looked amused. And so I think it was interesting she chose to. It was part of being incredibly methodical, prepared. And I think it also showed her experience as a prosecutor, where you know the jury is looking at you all the time, and you always want to convey a picture of who it is you think you are, who you want them to think you are.
And I think it's also Karen Dunn, a great defense lawyer who was prepping her, and Philippe Reines, someone you know very well as well.
Yeah, this was a lawyer's debate on her side, but on his side, it was, as Brendan was saying, it was the classic Trump. It was the Trump we have seen in his previous campaigns, and he came as classic Trump, even though he had gotten a lot of advice from his advisors and from outside Republicans to not engage in personal attacks, to not talk about the past like the 2020 election, but to look forward and to focus on policy. He did not take that advice.
And Brendan, what about the cats and dogs in Springfield?
Yeah, and we didn't have to wait very long for cats and dogs in Springfield either. Again, Kamala Harris was trying to communicate to those undecided voters, and Donald Trump can't seem to get out of the idea that every event that he does is a rally. And you have to be pretty deep into, I guess everybody knows about this now, but you had to be pretty deep into conservative online conversation to know what the heck he was talking about. He didn't really even explain it. He just sort of threw out that, you know, things are happening in these cities, and as if people at home who are trying to decide who they're going to pick are on Truth Social all day. It just shows you that he's not taking this very seriously, and he doesn't have a whole lot of respect for the people who are ultimately going to decide the election.
Brendan Buck, Susan Page, our thanks to you.